So I can start. Few more seconds. Fine. Hi everyone. Hi again. So welcome to this breakout room. Where we'll talk about a bit more about the energy facility and the Citizen Energy Advisory Hub, as well as connected. So I will share my screen so you can see my slides. And I see that the session is already being recorded. I think it's Juliana who started it. Yes, cool. Thank you. Share. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
So in this, thank you. So in this session, we will talk about those three projects. I will talk about Connected in the end because we already talked a bit about it with Gabriel. But as Mariangela said during her presentation of the Fil Rouge, the idea is that for a municipality, you can really play with those different projects or initiatives, and you can really pick what you really need, whether it's technical assistance, whether it's a subsidy or financial support. So it's really up to you to try to understand what you need the most for the coming months, because these projects are really about the coming months. And Connect Heat is approaching to an end, and so we will have a lot of materials that will be very useful as well for you if you want to start activities in the heating and cooling sector in the coming months as well. So first of all, I will talk about the European Energy Communities facility. So the facility here is building on previous European projects, such as the European City Facility, the Energy Communities Repository, as well as the Rural Energy Communities Advisory Hub. So really the idea here is to build on previous projects to start this new one. In this facility, we look to support at least, and I know that it will be a bit more than 140 energy communities, to develop and implement solid business plan with our help, but also with the help of national experts. So this will take place both in your national language, but as well sometimes in English with us when we have networking events, for instance. So all these countries can apply. So it's not only EU member states, but it's also projects from Iceland, Ukraine, Moldova, and North Macedonia. And here, I find this slide quite interesting because it really gives you an idea of what you get if you enter this project. So what we call the beneficiary benefits. So as a beneficiary, usually the main target for this project is the financial support, as each project will receive 45,000 euros that you can spend for instance, if you have an OSS on energy communities in your region or member states, you can spend money to ask advice to the OSS, or in a broader manner to look for advice and support to build your project. And I would say what's also interesting with this project is the access to best practices and the knowledge, because we have a lot of knowledge on energy communities that we've been building for the last 15 to 20 years. And then it's interesting to have access to a place where you can actually get to know about best practices and knowledge. The national experts that will talk your national language will have a good understanding of your national legal framework, which is very useful when you want to start an energy community. And also this project will give you visibility at the national level which is also important, as most of the time, if you build, for instance, an energy community with the cooperative model, you will have to look for members to join your cooperative, for instance. And so, yeah, all along the project, the idea is to develop your skills so you can become autonomous after the end of the project. So as I said, we have a network of 29 national experts that we have already identified, and that with whom we are already in contact. So you can see actually their faces here down the slide. Maybe you recognize some of them. So those national experts really have a central role in the facility, because they will present this project in all national languages. So they will give info session at the national level in the national language, which is very useful to attract projects at the local level. And then once the projects are selected, they will still be present to help beneficiaries in both the application process, but also after in the building of the business plan. They will help you to monitor the development and the implementation of your business plan. And for those who are not selected for the first call, they can help, well, national experts can help you or energy community projects to reapply for the second call in 2026. So the eligibility criteria to join the facility are the following. So as I said, we are trying to get new projects, but you still have to be a legal entity when you apply. So sometimes I know it can take a bit of time to become a legal entity, but I know that in some countries it can also be very quick. But be aware of that. It can be a new project, but you still have to be a legal entity if you want to apply. So third point, as I showed before in the previous slide, you must be from one of the eligible countries. The REC, well, so the renewable energy community project that you want to build has to fit with the EU definition. And then at last, applicant commits to completing the monitoring and impact measurement questionnaires, so we make sure that you follow the process with us. So we will have two calls. As I said, the first one is actually in a bit more than 10 days. It's starting on June 2nd. If you want to have really a lot more information on this project, and if you really have questions, the website is already online, and we have quite an interesting frequently asked question tab where you can find a lot of information. And if you still have questions after going through a website, I think it would be interesting for you then to participate to the info session on June 3rd. And then for your interest, as I said, you can apply for the first call, and if you don't get it there, then you can reapply with the help of your national experts to improve your dossier or your project for the second call in 2026. So that's the end of the facility project or initiative. Now I will present this second EU initiative. This one has a focus that is more on technical assistance, whereas I would say that the first one was more on financial support. So for this one, the focus is a bit different. Then I would say it's perhaps more for people who are really looking for building energy communities with an innovative angle. So in this project, we are supporting initiatives through legal policy and practical assistance and guidance. So as I said during the presentation of the Fil Rouge, we are trying to broaden the scope of energy communities, in the sense that usually energy communities are made of municipalities, SMEs, and citizens. But it's still unusual to find other kind of actors in energy communities. So with this project, we would like to reach out to other kind of actors such as small-scale NGOs, cooperatives from different sectors and the energy sector. So it can be, for instance, a cooperative active in the organic farming sector that would like to develop an energy dimension. It can also be social economy actors or any other actors, actually. So if you are interested, I think it's nice to reach out to us because we are really looking to develop energy communities outside let's say outside our comfort zone. So we have different main activities. So the first one is the capacity building and technical assistance. So we will, in this initiative, try to find 120 citizen energy initiatives to help them with technical assistance. We will organize citizen energy panel in all EU member states. We will have capacity building workshops tailored to diverse stakeholders, depending on the kind of actor that you are, and also 10 behavioral experiments to optimize citizen involvement in energy projects, because we tend to find that it's hard to keep citizens involved in energy communities in the midterm or in the long term. Then we have the second main activity, which is the networking and peer-to-peer opportunities. So as you may imagine, we will have a lot of people involved in this project from all member states. So we'll have a nice and broad network of various actors. So that's obviously one benefit of joining this project. We will have 2 large public conferences, a citizen energy network, energy breakfast sessions showcasing success stories, and webinars. Then we plan to use the outcome of this project to publish outputs. So we will have an interactive map of EU citizen energy initiatives, 20 guidance documents, 60 best practices, country fiches on EU member states' legal and policy frameworks, updating existing ones, and also newsletter every 4 months. So the idea, a bit like in the Connected project, is really to have at the end of the project, well, insights and output that will be helpful in the long term. In terms of technical assistance, so a bit more detail here. So for those who will be selected as beneficiaries, we will put you in touch with country experts based on knowledge requirements, competencies, geographic experience, and other factors. There will be a kickoff meetings to explain the goal, scope, and the procedures of the project. So we aim to ensure technical assistance support, and we aim to ensure that it's well implemented quite quickly after the selection, as we underline that it's within 1 month after the selection. Then, so in terms of agenda, right now we are at the beginning of this project. So we are actually doing these awareness raising meetings, just as this one, for instance. And then we will have in December the first call for application, and then another one in 2026. And then we will start at the beginning of 2026 with the implementation. So how will we integrate lessons learned to offer better support? Well, the idea is to communicate in guidance documents, which aim to support the scale-up and replicability of citizen energy projects. And at the end, we will have this knowledge hub and map that will be useful, hopefully, for other future projects in the long term. So I take just a few, well, 1 or 2 minutes to also link back to Connect Heat, which we already discussed during this webinar. So I took just a few slides here to also underline the fact that we have materials that is being developed with the Connect Heat team and consortium and with partners. So if you go on our website, you will find already so the map with all our projects, and you can find a lot of information there. You will see that there is technical assistance documents as well, pilot fact sheets that will be soon available on the project website. And we are currently working on making a blueprint which really aims to can you unmute yourself, please?
It's only 11:30, you have to go back.
Joining us in a second.
Mute it, it's not me.
Just the volume, just